Good morning, students. My name is CHSV Prasad Rao, working as senior lecturer in electrical department at Government Polytechnic, Yadgirigutta. As we are continuing the subject AC motors, and we are going with the chapter synchronous motor. In that, in the last class, we covered use of synchronous motor as a synchronous condenser. So, how we can, what is the meaning of synchronous condenser and when it is used? We used that one and we done the problems also, and we explain how a synchronous motor can be used as a synchronous condenser, and we covered the curves also, that is U and inverted V curves, and problems on synchronous condenser, that is power factor correction. So the curve drawn between armature current and excitation is in the form of a alphabetic V. So that's why it is called V curve. So for that one, first what we have to do, we have to put load as constant for particular value. Suppose if you put it as a no load, and we have to change the excitation, then corresponding armature current we have to note down. We have to note down the field current excitation value and the armature current. By taking these two factors, we have to, if we draw a curve, that is field excitation on x-axis and armature current on y-axis, then we can get the curve V curve at no load. And again, if you put the load at 1/4 load and again change the excitation, then again and note down the armature current, and if you draw the curve, then we can get again V curve at a load of 1/4 load or half load. So this is the armature drawing of armature current. Similarly, if you change the acceleration, then power factor also changes. So if you draw the curve between and power factor, excitation and power factor on y-axis, excitation on x-axis, then we can get a curve in the form of inverted V curve, inverted V curves. And from these characteristics, we can analyze the circuit parameters. That is, in V curve, we have drawn V curve between excitation and armature current. Excitation on x-axis and armature current on y-axis. So So in both below excitation and normal excitation, below excitation and over excitation, the armature current is high. But in normal excitation, the armature current value is low. So that is the minimum current value. That is the minimum current value. So where the armature current is less. So that point is called unity power factor, and the curve left hand side is called lagging power factor, and on right hand side of the V curve is called leading power factor. In both lagging and leading, we can say the armature current is high. Similarly, if we consider the power factor and field current curve, that is inverted V curve. So on left hand side it is lagging and right hand side it is leading. In both case, lagging and leading, the power factor is less. It is only high at the middle, that is unity power factor, that is 1. So from this we can say that armature current and power factor, if you keep the load as constant, then these both are inversely proportional to each other. And we last class we covered synchronous motor as a synchronous condenser also. How we can use, if you see where we have to use, if you go for a large industries where it has only induction motors. So because of these induction motors, the power factor is lagging. So because of that, what happened? The power factor of the overall plant is reducing. So according to electricity board norms, it has to maintain power factor at some particular value, that is zero point 0.9 or 0.85. So if the power factor reduces below this value, then the industry has to pay some amount to the electricity board. Why? Because the industry draws more power from the supply. So then automatically then what happened? The loads which are connected to that transformer remaining load will be disturbed. So how it is disturbed means what happens? The power will they will get the remaining users will get power fluctuations or low voltage. So to avoid this problem to other users, every industry has to maintain the power factor. So to improve the power factor, what the industry will do? The industry will connect synchronous overexcited synchronous motor in parallel with the bus bar. As we covered in the last class, when the motor is excited below the excitation, that is below the normal excitation, the motor takes lagging power factor, and above excitation it will take leading power factor. So overexcited synchronous motor without load will work as synchronous condenser. So that we covered in the last class. So overexcited synchronous motor draws leading current. So the system power factor can be improved by using synchronous motor with overexcitation. So a synchronous condenser is nothing but a synchronous motor operating without mechanical load but with strong DC excitation, that is overexcitation. Then the motor takes leading power factor. For these reasons, it is mechanically coupled and it is designed with no load. Hence, and it is the output on the motor is not there. It is connected to the same busbar of the other busbar of the industry where the other induction motors are connected. So it will improve the power factor. That's why we can say it can work as synchronous condenser to improve the power factor. So on this one we done the problem also. So that means for induction motor, suppose the for factory the power factor is zero point 0.6. After connecting the capacitor, the power factor is improved to zero point 0.9. Then what is the ratings of the synchronous motor? So like that problems we have solved in the last class. So today we can cover what is hunting and what is the prevention methods for hunting. If we one of the drawback of the synchronous motor we covered when we are covering the disadvantages, that is hunting is a objectionable phenomena of synchronous motor. Why? Suppose how the synchronous first how the synchronous motor will run with synchronous speed. Anyone can already be covered when we are explaining the working principle of synchronous motor. At the time we explained the synchronous motor and explained torque also. There are four types of torque: starting torque, pull-in torque, running torque, and pull-out torque. At the time we explained why the synchronous motor runs at synchronous speed. So why the synchronous motor runs at synchronous speed means because the rotor poles are magnetically locked, magnetically locked with stator magnetic poles, and it starts rotating at a synchronous speed. When the stator magnetic poles are rotating at synchronous speed, automatically the rotor poles also rotating at a synchronous speed. So this is called magnetic locking, the attraction between rotor poles and stator poles. So when hunting occurs, what is the meaning of hunting? Hunting, when it occurs, how it occurs. So when the load is pulsating, that means if there is a frequent change of load, suddenly load increases, suddenly load decreases. Then what happened if suddenly load increases or decreases? Okay. Then what happened when a load is suddenly increased or decreased? When load is increased or decreased, suddenly the coupling angle, that is alpha, load angle or coupling angle, that is the axis of rotor and the axis of the difference between axis of rotor and axis of stator poles, that is called load angle or coupling angle alpha. So this alpha value also changes when load increases or decreases. Then automatically, suppose if the load fluctuation is very high, then what happened? The fluctuation of alpha also very high. So that means the locking, the magnetic locking between stator poles and stator magnetic poles and rotor poles also very high. Due to this due to these fluctuations, the motor comes out of the synchronism and the motor stops. So this is the objectional phenomena. So that means if hunting is more and some at particular value, the it is producing pulsating torque. Then because of that torque, the motor stops and the motor comes out of the synchronism and the motor stops. So in this chapter, we will cover how the hunting is produced and what is the disadvantage because of this hunting and how we can prevent this hunting. What are the methods are there? What are the advantages because of this hunting? So Hunting also produced if the frequency is pulsating. So hunting of a hunting in a synchronous motor. So when synchronous motor is loaded for driving a varying load, then condition known as hunting or surging or phase swinging is produced. Hunting may also be caused if the supply frequency is pulsating. So, because of these two reasons, the hunting is produced. So, when hunting is produced, when synchronous motor is driving a varying load, then condition known as hunting or surging or phase swing is produced. Hunting may also be produced if the supply frequency is pulsating. So, because of these two reasons, if it is driving a varying load or if the supply frequency is pulsating, means changing. In these two conditions, the pulsating and the hunting is produced. So, when a synchronous motor is loaded, as I told in the working of a synchronous motor and performance of, we got the same concept when we explained in the previous class performance of synchronous motor on load when we change the excitation. So, when a synchronous motor is loaded, its rotor falls back in phase by a certain angle called load angle or alpha. So, as I told, what is alpha? It is a load angle or coupling angle. So, so this when what happened when this alpha value changes, when this alpha value is changes, then the motor the back EMF also changes. If alpha increases, the back EMF EB increases. When back EMF EB changes, it draws more current from the supply. IA increases. When IA increases, when IA increases, then it produces more torque, and this torque supplies the new load. So, suppose if your load is reduces, then what happened? Again, the alpha reduces, EB reduces, back EMF reduces, and the current IA also reduces, and the torque produced also decreases. So, because of that one, so for every new load, the alpha value changes. So, when synchronous motor is loaded, its rotor falls back in phase by a certain angle called load angle or coupling angle alpha. As load is progressively increased, then what happened? This angle alpha also increases so as to produce more torque for coupling with the increased load. So what it so so what happened again if you load increases? Again if load increases, then what happened? Then again the alpha value also increases and it produces more torque to maintain the coupling, to maintain the coupling. So if load on the motor is suddenly reduced, the motor immediately pulled up or advanced to a new value of new value of alpha corresponding to new load. So if what happened if load is increases, if load is increases, alpha increases, back EMF EB increases, Then armature current drawn from the supply also increases. Then it produces more torque. Then it produces more torque, and that torque supplies the increased load. Suppose if load on the motor is suddenly decreased, not gradually, suddenly reduced, the motor immediately pulled up or advanced to a new value of alpha corresponding to no load. But in this process, the rotor overshoots and hence again pulled back. So what happened? The rotor is pulling and the load is increasing, again falls back when the load is decreasing. In this way, in this way, the rotor starts oscillating as a pendulum, as a pendulum, oscillating about its new position of equilibrium corresponding to new value. That means when it starts, it's not going to come to its new position suddenly. It is oscillating to reach the stable position immediately. So what that is called, the rotor starts oscillating about its new position of equilibrium corresponding to new load. So if the time period of these oscillations is equal to the natural time period of the machine, then the motor, then the mechanical resonance is set up. When mechanical resonance is set up, the oscillations, if the time period of these oscillations happens to be equal to the natural time period of the machine, then the mechanical resonance is set up. The amplitude of these oscillations are built up to a large value, large value, and may eventually become so great as the machine thrown out from synchronism. So what happened? The oscillations, if the amplitude of these oscillations are built up to a large value and become greater as through machine comes out of the synchronism. So what happened when motor comes out of the synchronism? When the motor comes out of the synchronism, then the motor stops. So if the frequency of oscillation is equal to natural frequency, then what happened? Then mechanical resonance is set up. So the amplitude of swinging of the rotor poles related to the poles of rotating field becomes so great, then the machine throw, thrown out of synchronism. When the machine thrown out of the synchronism, then what happened? Then the motor stops. Then the motor stops. So hunting is an objectionable characteristic of all synchronous motor since it produces severe mechanical stresses as well as greater vibrations in current and power drawn from the motor. So this hunting is this hunting is objectionable phenomena. So that means the characteristics of a motor, that means because of this one it produces mechanical stresses as well as variation in the current and power drawn from the motor. So it's not possible to so because of these disadvantages we have to what we have to do, we have to prevent the hunting problem. So once again I am repeating this one. So what is hunting? When a synchronous motor is used for driving a varying load, then a condition known as hunting or surging or phase swinging is produced. Hunting may also be caused if the supply frequency is pulsating. When a synchronous motor is loaded, then what happens? Its rotor falls back in phase by a certain angle called load angle alpha. As the load is increases progressively, then the angle also increases. Then the angle also increases and produces more torque for, for supplying the increased load. Now, if load on the motor is suddenly reduced, then what happened? The motor immediately pulled up or advanced to a new value of alpha corresponding to new load. But in this process, the rotor overshoots and hence again pulled back. In this way, the rotor starts oscillating about its new position of equilibrium corresponding to new load. Corresponding to new load. If the time period of these oscillations, if the time period of these oscillations happens to be equal to the natural time period of the machine, then what happened? Mechanical resonance is set up. So the amplitude of these oscillations are built up to a large value and become greater than it is then the machine is thrown out from the synchronism. So what happened if the motor is comes out from the synchronism? The motor stops. So hunting is an objectionable characteristic of a synchronous motor since it produces several mechanical stresses as well as large variation in current and power drawn by the motor. So what we have to do? So we have to minimize this hunting. Minimize this hunting. So that is called prevention of hunting. So how we can prevent the hunting? We can prevent the hunting by using damper winding. Note down this. Definition of hunting. Hunting is prevented by providing damper binding. Damper binding. This is also known as squirrel cage binding or armature binding or damping grid. Damping grid. So where the damping binding is there. So these are the damper binding. Where it is there? It is there on the rotor poles. It is there on rotor poles. The damper binding consists of short-circuited copper or aluminum bars embedded in the faces of the field poles as shown in the figure. They are kept in the field poles and all are short-circuited with end rings. So what is damper winding? The damper winding consists of short-circuited copper or aluminum bars embedded in the faces of a field poles of the motor as shown in the figure. So these are the damper. Each rotor pole they are provided damper winding. See here another view. This is the rotor bars. This is the stator frame. On this one it has a stator winding, and here it has a rotor poles, and it contains a damper winding. Damper windings are short circuited. Damper windings are short circuited, and this is one is a pole core. On this pole core we have placed a bars. We have placed a bars. This is the rotor winding, and here we placed the DC field winding on the rotor pole, rotor phase. Here we have the DC winding to give the DC excitation. So this is pole of a synchronous motor showing damper winding. This is the damper winding, and they are short aluminum or copper bars. These are this. Here it is showing the aluminum or copper bars, and they are short circuited. This is the short circuit entering. This is cross sectional view. This is front view. So this is the DC excitation which is there on the rotor pole. On the rotor shoe we have the rotor bars, and these rotor bars are copper or aluminum bars will be there. They are short circuited with end rings. Okay, this is the figure how it is connected. It is very clearly it is showing. This is called damper binding. So what it contains? The damper binding contains copper or aluminum bars embedded in the faces of a field poles and short circuited at both ends by means of end rings as shown in figure. I will show the figure once again. See here. So what it contains? The damper binding consists of on the faces it contains a field poles. It contains short circuited copper or aluminum bars. Copper or aluminum bars, and it is short circuited on both ends. Here this is the short here and here on both ends by with end rings. The same thing is here written. The damper winding consists of copper balls embedded in the faces of the field poles and short circuited at both ends by means of end rings. Okay, So that is the winding where we have placed how it is placed. So when hunting take place, when the motor is operating at exactly synchronous speed, then there is no relative motion between the rotor and the stator rotating field, and so no current is induced in the winding. That means if both when stator poles and the rotor magnetic poles both are rotating at a synchronous speed, then the relative speed, what is the relative speed? Anyone can guess? Yes, it is the difference between synchronous speed and the rotor speed. That is ns minus nr. Ns is the synchronous speed. Nr is the rotor speed. The difference between two speeds is called relative speed. That is ns minus nr. So ns minus nr is 0. Then no current is induced in this winding. So that means the relative speed between the when it is happen when the motor is operating at a synchronous speed, then there is no relative motion between the stator, between the rotor and stator rotating field. Then no current is induced in this winding. So then what happened? But when hunting take place, when hunting place, then when hunting occurs, then what happened? Just now we explained. When hunting occurs, the load is changing. Load is changing, increases or suddenly decreases. Then what happened? Alpha value also increases or decreasing. So then the rotor pulled in or falls back in phase. So the rotor oscillate. So that is called. So then what happened? The motor is not rotating at a synchronous speed. Then relative motion is produced. Relative motion is produced. When relative motion produced, then current is induced. But when hunting take place, that is fluctuation of the load suddenly increases and decreases. Then the load angle or coupling angle also changes. Then what happened? Then torque changes and speed changes. So when hunting takes place, there is a relative motion exists, and therefore eddy currents are set up in this winding, which flows in such a way to suppress or damps out the oscillation. Understood this one? When hunting takes place, the oscillated motion of the rotor. So this oscillation will produces eddy currents in the damper winding, which flows in such a way as to suppress the oscillations. So the damper, so suppress the that means the current is flowing through this damper winding. So what we have to do? We have to maintain low resistance for this winding. So the damper winding, so what we have to do? We have to make the damper winding resistance should be as low as possible to be more effective. We have to reduce the resistance of the damper winding so that losses will be low. And another thing is the damper winding cannot prevent hunting completely. That means it is not completely removed, but it completely removed, not completely removed, but it reduces the effect. So when it reduces the effect, then what happened? There is no possibility of synchronous motor coming out of the synchronism. So the damper winding cannot prevent hunting completely because their operation depends upon the presence of oscillating oscillating motion, but it will reduce the effect. So the damper winding also serves to make the synchronous motor self-start. So we have another advantage of this damper winding. Here what we learn, the damper winding, what it is doing, the damper winding reduces the hunting. Not only it reduces the hunting, it is used to make the motor self-starting. So when we cover the topic starting methods of synchronous motor, then we can we can have this method damper winding to make the motor self-starting. Okay. So you understood how the damper winding will be there and how it is reduced. I will show the figure once again. You draw the figure. Now you get this damper winding. Here you have to draw this figure. Left hand side figure is okay. If you draw this figure, that is also fine. Where it is showing both damper winding and end rings. Note down this figure. The same if you practice once this figure, the same figure we can draw for prevention of hunting and starting methods also. For starting methods also, we can draw the same figure. So in starting method, we have the method by using damper winding. Then we have to draw the same figure. So if you practice this figure, it is useful for both prevention of damping, prevention of hunting, and starting methods. In starting methods, when we get by using damping method, then we can draw the same figure for both. So how we can reduce this hunting by using damper winding? Hunting can be prevented by providing damper winding, also known as damper grids or squirrel cage winding. So how is the damper winding is there? As shown in figure, the damper winding consists of short circuited copper or aluminum bars. See here, this is the copper or aluminum bars embedded in the faces of the field poles of the motor, and it is short circuited at the both ends, short circuited with the both as shown in figure. So when hunting take place, the oscillatory motion of the rotor sets up eddy currents in the damping winding, so which flows in such a direction to suppress the oscillations, and we have to maintain the damper winding resistance should be low as possible for reduce the losses. So damper winding, and another thing is this damper winding cannot prevent the hunting completely, but it will reduce the effect. But it reduce the effect. Another thing is this damper winding is used to make the synchronous motor self-starting. So what we covered today? Covered what is hunting and prevention of hunting. So what is how the hunting is occurred when a synchronous motor is used for driving a varying load, then the condition known as hunting or surging or phase swinging is produced. This hunting may also be caused if the supply frequency is pulsating, that is hunting. So how we can reduce the hunting? By providing damper winding. So frequently if you see what he was, he will ask, explain the phenomena of hunting in synchronous motor and how it can be prevented. He will ask for 10 marks both. Otherwise, he will ask, explain the phenomena of hunting in synchronous motor for 5 marks. And in another question, he will ask how we can prevent the hunting. That one also he can ask separately. You read this one, hunting and prevention of hunting. If you have any doubt, ask me in the next class. Thank you.